Hey everyone, and welcome to your deep dive into AI platforms. We're always trying to stay ahead of the curve here, and this topic is right up that alley. We're talking about moving beyond the old Microsoft Office and into a whole new world of productivity. We're going to be breaking down this really fascinating book. It's called Beyond Microsoft Office.
Yeah, it's a great read. Really highlights how much things are changing.
I know, and I'm excited to really dig in with you and uncover all the gems. So, to set the stage, what's the core message of the book? What's the big takeaway for listeners?
Well, the book starts by acknowledging how dominant Microsoft Office has been. For decades, it's been like the essential tool for businesses.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Who hasn't spent countless hours on those?
Right. But now AI is changing the game completely. It's not just about creating documents or spreadsheets anymore. It's about working smarter, not just harder.
Okay, so how does the book describe that shift? What's different about AI compared to those traditional tools?
It's a really interesting evolution. So, in the beginning, office productivity was all about basic tasks, like typing letters or crunching numbers.
Makes sense. Just getting things done.
Right. Yeah. And then came Microsoft Office, which made those tasks way easier and more efficient. But AI takes it to a whole new level. It's not just about speed, it's about intelligence. Think about things like automating entire workflows, analyzing data in real time, and even predicting what's coming next. These are things that traditional tools just can't do.
It's like AI is becoming our super smart assistant.
Exactly. And that's why this shift is so important for businesses to understand.
The book really drives this point home with a pretty compelling statistic.
Oh, you mean the one from Deloitte?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
It says that something like 77% of businesses believe AI will significantly impact their operations within the next 5 years. That's a huge majority. It's not just a tech trend, it's a fundamental shift.
Yeah, it's happening whether businesses are ready or not. And the book argues pretty convincingly that companies that don't adapt, they're going to get left behind. The competitive landscape is changing rapidly, and AI is a big part of that.
So we've got to wrap our heads around this AI thing if we want to stay ahead of the game. Okay, but AI seems so complex. Where do we even begin?
Well, the book breaks it down into some key components, and it makes it much more approachable. So basically, there are 4 main pillars of AI: machine learning, natural language processing, robotic process automation, and computer vision. These are like the building blocks.
Okay, that sounds a little less intimidating. So let's start with machine learning. What exactly is that? Is it like the AI is actually learning on its own?
Yes, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Imagine you feed a ton of data into a system, like a massive spreadsheet. Machine learning is the ability of the AI to analyze that data, to find patterns, to make predictions, all without being explicitly programmed for each step.
Wow, so it's like having a superpowered intern who never sleeps and keeps getting smarter.
That's a great way to put it. The more data it processes, the more it learns, and the more accurate it becomes. It's constantly improving.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. What about this natural language processing? That one always sounds a bit sci-fi to me.
Yeah, well, it's becoming less sci-fi every day. NLP is the technology behind things like chatbots, those little pop-up helpers on websites, and voice assistants like Siri and Alexa.
Oh, so it's how machines understand what we're saying and respond in a way that feels natural, like we're talking to another person.
Exactly. And it's getting better all the time. Think about how easy it is now to book a flight or order food online using just your voice.
I do most of my shopping online now just by talking to my smart speaker.
Okay, so machine learning is like the brains, and natural language processing is how AI communicates. What about robotic process automation? Does that mean robots are taking over all our jobs? Not quite, though it can feel that way sometimes. Think of RPA as a way to automate those repetitive, rule-based tasks that we all hate doing. Like data entry, filing, scheduling appointments, all that tedious stuff that takes up so much time.
So it's more like freeing us up from the boring stuff so we can focus on more interesting and creative work.
Exactly. And that's a key theme in the book, how AI can augment human capabilities, not replace them.
Makes sense. Okay, last one on the list, computer vision. What's that all about?
Well, it's kind of like giving AI the ability to see and interpret the world around us, just like we do.
So it's like giving AI eyes.
In a way, yes. It uses cameras and sophisticated algorithms to analyze images and videos. It's being used in all sorts of amazing ways, from facial recognition to medical diagnosis to self-driving cars.
Wow, AI is already so much more integrated into our lives than I realized.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have a basic understanding of these core components, what's next?
Well, the book then dives into specific AI platforms that businesses are already using to do incredible things. It's like a whole new toolbox for productivity and innovation.
Oh, this is the part I'm really excited about. It feels like this is where the rubber meets the road. So let's talk platforms. What are some of the big names that businesses should be paying attention to?
Well, you can't talk about AI without mentioning Google Cloud AI. It's a powerhouse, especially when it comes to machine learning and natural language processing.
Okay, Google, that makes sense. But what makes their platform stand out?
Well, remember TensorFlow. That's Google's open source machine learning framework. It's used by tons of companies all over the world.
Right, I've heard of that. It's like the industry standard for machine learning, isn't it?
Pretty much. And Google Cloud AI builds on that foundation, providing a whole suite of tools and services for businesses to leverage AI. The book actually gives this cool example of HSBC, the giant international bank.
Oh, yeah, I know HSBC.
They're using Google Cloud AI to detect fraudulent transactions. It's all about analyzing massive amounts of data in real time to spot patterns that would be invisible to the human eye.
So AI is like their fraud-fighting superhero. Pretty cool. What about IBM? They've been in the tech game forever. Where do they fit into the AI landscape?
Oh, IBM's a major player. Their platform, IBM Watson, is known for its cognitive computing capabilities, which is all about understanding and responding to complex information.
I remember Watson beating those Jeopardy champions a while back.
Exactly. That was a big moment for AI, showed the world what was possible. And now Watson is being used in all sorts of industries, from healthcare to finance to education.
The book talks about how Watson is being used in healthcare to personalize cancer treatment recommendations, right?
That's right. Doctors are using Watson to analyze patient data, research studies, and treatment guidelines to come up with individualized treatment plans. It's really revolutionizing the field.
That's incredible. AI is literally helping doctors save lives. Okay, so we've got Google and IBM. What about Microsoft? They've got to be in this AI game too, right?
Oh, absolutely. They have a platform called Microsoft Azure AI. And one of its big strengths is how seamlessly it integrates with all the Microsoft tools that businesses are already using. Office 365, all that good stuff.
So even though we're talking about moving beyond Microsoft Office, Microsoft is still very much part of the AI revolution.
Definitely. They're adapting and evolving with the times. Azure AI also has a wide range of services, from machine learning to computer vision to natural language processing. They've got pretty much everything covered.
Okay, so we've got Google, IBM, Microsoft. Who else is a big player in this AI platform space?
Well, Amazon is another one. They're not just about online shopping anymore. Their cloud computing platform, Amazon Web Services, AWS, has a strong focus on AI.
Makes sense. They've always been at the forefront of using data and technology to improve their business. So what's special about AWS AI?
Well, they're really strong in automation, and they have this really cool computer vision tool called Recognition. It can do all sorts of things like analyze images, identify objects, and even recognize faces. The book mentions how C-SPAN, the TV network that covers Congress, uses Recognition to identify politicians during their broadcasts.
Wow, so that's how they figure out who's talking and put their names up on the screen. That's pretty slick. What other AI platforms are worth mentioning?
Well, there's Salesforce, the CRM giant. They have Salesforce Einstein, which is all about using AI to supercharge customer relationship management. It can help with everything from automating sales processes to personalizing marketing campaigns.
I think I read somewhere that Coca-Cola uses Salesforce Einstein.
That's right. The book mentions how Coca-Cola is using it to personalize their marketing, and they've seen some impressive results, like increased customer loyalty and engagement. It's all about understanding your customers better and giving them what they want, even before they know they want it.
So AI is helping them sell more Coke.
Got it. Okay, this is also fascinating. Any other platforms we should be keeping an eye on?
A couple more that are worth mentioning. There's UiPath. They're a leader in robotic process automation. They're especially good at helping businesses in heavily regulated industries like finance and healthcare.
Okay, so making sure everything is compliant and efficient.
Exactly. The book actually highlights how DHL, the global shipping company, is using UiPath to automate things like data entry and invoice processing. They've seen huge gains in productivity and cost savings.
Makes sense. Streamlining those back office processes can make a big difference. What about this one? Zoho Zia. I'm not as familiar with that one.
Zoho Zia is interesting because it's all about using AI to boost business intelligence and automation, kind of like a one-stop shop. One of its key strengths is its ability to predict sales trends and personalize customer interactions.
Sounds powerful. It is. The book has a great example of a real estate company called Coldwell Banker using Zoho Zia to help their agents be more effective. They use it to analyze property data, predict which properties are most likely to sell, and even personalize the way they interact with clients. It's like having an AI-powered real estate guru by your side.
Wow, it's like AI is becoming the ultimate business partner. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but it feels like we're just getting started. What's coming up next in our deep dive?
Well, the book goes beyond just listing these platforms. It really gets into the nitty-gritty of how businesses can actually integrate AI into their existing workflows. And that's where things get really exciting.
Okay, I can't wait to dive into that.
It's interesting, we talk about going beyond Microsoft Office, but a big part of the book is about how AI can actually make those tools even better.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. I thought it was all about replacing those old programs, but it's more like AI is becoming the secret weapon for making them more powerful.
Right. Like imagine AI built right into Excel. That's actually a thing now?
Wait, really? Like what can it do?
It's called AI-powered Excel, and it can do some pretty mind-blowing stuff. Think about automating data analysis. No more spending hours manually crunching numbers.
Oh man, tell me more. That's like every accountant's dream come true.
Uh-huh, right. It can also detect errors, those little typos that can mess up your whole spreadsheet. AI can catch those before they become a problem.
Okay, I'm sold. What else?
It can even help you find hidden opportunities in your data. Those trends or insights that you might miss if you're just looking at raw numbers. AI can surface those and help you make better decisions.
So it's like having a data analyst built right into Excel. Sign me up.
And it's not just Excel. AI is making its way into Word and Outlook too. Think about Microsoft Editor. That's like an AI-powered writing coach right there in Word.
Yeah, I use that sometimes. It's pretty helpful for catching grammar mistakes and making my writing sound more polished.
Exactly. It can suggest different word choices, help you clarify your sentences, even make sure your tone is appropriate for your audience.
So it's like having a virtual editor on call 24/7.
That's a good way to put it. And then there's Outlook. Think about all the time we spend managing email. It can be a real-time suck.
Oh, tell me about it. My inbox is like a black hole. I swear it multiplies overnight.
Haha, well, AI can help with that too. Features like Smart Reply can suggest quick responses to emails, saving you tons of time. And there's intelligent meeting scheduling, so no more back and forth trying to find a time that works for everyone.
Okay, I need that in my life, like right now. So AI is making our individual tools smarter, but the book goes even deeper, right? It talks about how AI is transforming the way we handle documents as a whole.
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. We're talking about automating entire processes. Like imagine contracts and reports being generated automatically.
That sounds like a lawyer's dream. No more late nights reviewing documents.
Exactly. The book actually gives this cool example of JP Morgan Chase. They're using an AI tool called Kawine to automate their contract review process.
Oh, wow. I remember reading about that. It saved them a ton of time and money.
It did. And it's not just about contracts. Think about all those industries where data entry and extraction are critical, like finance, healthcare, even government. AI can streamline those processes and make them way more accurate.
The book mentions how DHL is using AI to handle all their document processing and logistics.
Yeah, they're seeing huge improvements in efficiency and accuracy. It's a game changer for industries like that.
So AI is taking over the boring stuff and letting humans focus on the more strategic work.
Exactly. And then there's this whole area of AI-powered word processing. The book talks about tools like Luminance, which is being used by lawyers to analyze legal documents and even help with drafting.
Wow. It's like AI is becoming a lawyer's best friend. So we've talked about AI making individual tasks easier, but the book also emphasizes how it's changing the way we make decisions, right?
Yeah, it's not just about automating tasks anymore. AI is giving us the power to make smarter decisions based on real-time insights from our data.
So no more relying on gut feelings or outdated reports.
Right. AI-driven data analytics is all about finding patterns and trends that humans might miss. It's like having a crystal ball that shows you what's coming next.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
Well, think about predictive analytics. The book gives the example of Target. You know how they seem to know what you want to buy before you even do?
Oh yeah, it's kind of creepy, but also impressive.
Well, that's predictive analytics in action. They analyze all sorts of data, like your past purchases, your browsing history, even your demographics, to figure out what you're most likely to buy next. And then they use that information to target you with personalized ads and offers.
So AI is like their secret weapon for boosting sales.
It is. And then there's real-time analytics, which is all about responding to changes instantly. The book uses the example of Uber's surge pricing.
Oh, yeah. I hate when that happens, but it makes sense from a business perspective.
Right. It's all about adjusting prices based on real-time demand. AI makes those decisions automatically so Uber can maximize their profits.
Makes sense. And it's not just Uber, right? Amazon does the same thing with their product recommendations.
Exactly. They're constantly analyzing what people are buying and searching for, and then adjusting their recommendations in real time. It's all about giving customers what they want when they want it.
Okay, so AI is making businesses smarter and more efficient. But what about the customer experience? Does AI play a role there too?
Oh, absolutely. AI is revolutionizing the way businesses interact with their customers. Think about AI-powered customer support. Chatbots are everywhere now, and they're getting smarter all the time.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It seems like every website I visit these days has a little chatbot popping up asking if I need help.
It's not just about being available 24/7, though. AI is being used to personalize those interactions and anticipate customer needs. Like, the book mentions Sephora's chatbot. It can actually help you find the perfect shade of lipstick based on your skin tone and preferences.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It's like having a virtual beauty consultant in your pocket.
Exactly. And then there's Bank of America's virtual assistant, Erica. It can help you with all sorts of banking tasks, like checking your balance, paying bills, even setting up account alerts.
So it's like having a personal banker available 24/7. Okay, this is all incredibly exciting, but I have to admit, I'm also a little intimidated. It all seems so advanced. Is this something that only big companies can benefit from?
That's a great question, and the book actually addresses that directly. One of the key takeaways is that AI is not just for tech giants. Businesses of all sizes can leverage AI, and there are ways to start small and scale up as you go.
So you don't need to be a Fortune 500 company to get started with AI.
Not at all. The key is to identify specific business challenges where AI can make a difference and then start experimenting with different tools and platforms.
So it's more about finding the right AI solution for your specific needs, not about trying to do everything at once.
Exactly. And remember, there are tons of resources available online, like tutorials, articles, and even free courses. You don't need to become an AI expert overnight. It's all about taking that first step.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So for someone like me who's just starting to explore the world of AI, what would you recommend as a first step?
Well, I think the best place to start is to identify a specific problem or challenge in your work or life that you think AI could help solve. Something that's been bugging you or that you think could be done more efficiently.
So instead of trying to learn everything about AI all at once, focus on a specific area where it can make a tangible difference.
Exactly. Once you have that problem in mind, you can start researching different AI tools and platforms that might be a good fit. And remember, there are tons of resources available online, including tutorials, articles, and even free courses.
That's great advice. I'm already feeling more empowered to start exploring the world of AI. It's like a whole new world of possibilities has opened up.
That's the spirit. And don't be afraid to experiment. The beauty of AI is that it's constantly evolving, so there's always something new to learn and explore. It's an exciting time to be in business.
I agree. Okay, so we've talked about how AI is making our tools smarter, our decisions better, and our customer experience is more personalized. But it sounds like there are also some challenges that come with adopting AI. What are some of the things businesses need to be aware of?
Yeah, that's a really important point. The book doesn't shy away from the challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is often resistance to change. People can be afraid of new technology, especially if they think it might threaten their jobs.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like the fear of the unknown.
Exactly. So it's crucial to communicate clearly with employees about the purpose of AI integration. Emphasize that AI is meant to complement human roles, not replace them.
So it's more about AI and humans working together like a team.
Right. The book actually talks about the importance of investing in training and upskilling programs to help employees adapt to the changing demands of the workplace.
It's like instead of fearing AI, embrace it and learn how to use it to your advantage.
Exactly. The book gives the example of AT&T. They implemented a really successful upskilling program for their employees to help them learn AI-related skills, and it really helped ease those anxieties about job displacement.
That's great to hear. It shows that companies are taking these concerns seriously and are actively working to prepare their workforce for an AI-driven future.
Definitely. Now, another challenge that businesses need to consider is data privacy and security.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one, especially with all the data breaches we hear about these days.
Right. It's crucial to safeguard AI systems, especially those that handle sensitive personal information. The book emphasizes the importance of complying with regulations like GDPR and CCPA, which are designed to protect personal data.
It's like with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Exactly. The book actually mentions Equifax, the credit reporting agency that had that massive data breach a few years back.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was a huge mess.
Well, after that, they invested heavily in AI-driven cybersecurity to protect themselves from future attacks. It's a powerful reminder that data security should always be a top priority when adopting AI.
No doubt about it. Okay, so we've got resistance to change and data privacy. Any other challenges we should be aware of?
Well, another one that comes up is managing AI costs. Implementing AI can be expensive, especially for smaller businesses. The book offered some good advice on how to make AI adoption more cost-effective.
Like what?
Well, one strategy is to start small with pilot projects. Don't try to boil the ocean. Pick a specific area where you think AI can make a difference and test it out before making a huge investment.
So dip your toes in the water before diving in head first.
Exactly. Another strategy is to leverage cloud-based solutions. Instead of building your own AI infrastructure, which can be really expensive, you can use cloud providers like AWS or Google Cloud. They offer AI services on a pay-as-you-go basis, so you only pay for what you use.
That makes sense. Kind of like renting instead of owning.
That's a good analogy. And the book also emphasizes the importance of focusing on AI applications that offer immediate cost savings. Find those areas where you can automate tasks or improve efficiency and get a quick return on your investment. That can help build momentum and justify further AI adoption.
So it's about finding those quick wins to prove the value of AI.
Exactly. And then, of course, there are the ethical considerations.
Right. We can't forget about those.
AI is a powerful tool, and it's important to use it responsibly. The book stresses the need for transparency, fairness, and accountability in AI systems, especially those that make decisions that can impact people's lives.
It's like we need to make sure AI is used for good, not for evil.
Exactly. The book provides some practical guidance on how to address ethical considerations in AI adoption. Things like establishing a clear set of ethical guidelines involving stakeholders in the decision-making process and conducting regular audits to make sure AI systems are being used responsibly.
So it's about building a culture of responsible AI innovation, where ethical considerations are baked into every step of the process.
Right. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it.
Okay, this has been a really eye-opening conversation. It feels like we've covered so much ground, but I'm sure there's still much more to explore.
Oh, definitely. We've just scratched the surface of what AI can do. But I think the key takeaway from this book is that AI is not something to be feared. It's an opportunity to work smarter, to make better decisions, to create better experiences for our customers, and ultimately, to build a better future.
I agree. It's like AI is this amazing tool that can help us unlock new possibilities and achieve things we never thought possible.
And the best part is that it's still early days. We're just at the beginning of the AI revolution, and who knows what amazing things we'll be able to achieve in the years to come.
I'm excited to see what the future holds. But before we get too carried away, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about AI not being an all-or-nothing proposition. Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Sure. One of the things the book really emphasizes is that you don't need to become an AI expert overnight to start benefiting from its capabilities. It's more about taking a gradual approach, finding those areas where AI can make a difference in your work or life, and then experimenting with different tools and platforms.
So it's more about finding those quick wins to prove the value of AI.
Exactly. Start small, see what works, and then scale up from there. There's no need to feel overwhelmed or intimidated. AI is a journey, not a destination.
That's a great way to put it. And I think that's a really empowering message for listeners. It's like, you don't need to be a tech genius to start using AI. You just need to be curious, open-minded, and willing to experiment.
That's exactly right. And remember, there are so many resources available to help you along the way. There are online courses, tutorials, communities, even free tools that you can use to get started.
That's great to know. I feel like I'm already starting to brainstorm all the different ways I can use AI in my own work and life. It's like a whole new world of possibilities has opened up.
That's the spirit. And remember, AI is constantly evolving, so there's always something new to learn and explore. It's an exciting time to be alive.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've talked about the challenges and opportunities of AI adoption. We've explored some of the leading platforms out there, and we've even gotten some practical tips on how to get started with AI. I feel like I've learned so much, but I'm sure there's still more to uncover.
Oh, absolutely. The world of AI is vast and constantly evolving. This book is just a starting point, but I think it provides a really solid foundation for understanding the fundamentals of AI and how it's transforming the way we work and live. I encourage you to keep learning, experimenting, and discovering new ways to harness the power of AI.
I'm definitely ready for the challenge. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for AI and how it will continue to shape our world. It's pretty amazing how much we've learned about AI already. We've gone from why it's so important for businesses these days to all the different parts that make it work and those big name platforms everyone's talking about. We even covered how you can use AI to make those familiar tools like Microsoft Office even better.
And you know, it's really cool. We've only just started. This book goes even further, talking about some cutting-edge AI stuff, like using it for sustainability.
Yeah. I found that part really interesting too. I mean, AI and sustainability didn't really connect those two in my mind before.
Right. It's all about AI's ability to look at these massive amounts of data and spot patterns that we humans might miss. Like, think about Google. They use AI to optimize energy consumption in those giant data centers they have.
I remember reading about that. They cut their energy use by a lot, didn't they?
30%. Can you believe that? That's a huge reduction. And it's not just about saving money for them. It's about making a real difference for the environment.
Absolutely. And it's not just big companies like Google doing this either. The book also talks about Unilever using AI to cut back on water usage in their factories. It really shows how AI can be a game changer for a more sustainable future for businesses and for the planet. I think one of the biggest things I'm taking away from this deep dive is how much potential AI has. It's not just about automating tasks or making more money. It's about solving some really tough problems and making things better for everyone.
I think that's the heart of it. The book wants us to see AI not as this scary thing, but as a huge opportunity.
It's about looking at AI as a tool that can help us do incredible things and create a world that works better, is more sustainable, and ultimately more human.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about. Given all we've talked about today, what's the most exciting thing about AI for you? And what's a challenge in your own work or life that you think AI could help solve?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm definitely going to be thinking about that. This deep dive has been eye-opening, and I'm leaving feeling inspired and like I can actually do something with this.
That's fantastic. It's been a pleasure exploring this with you, and I encourage you to keep learning and playing around with AI. The possibilities really are limitless.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Beyond Microsoft Office. See you next time.